What up, everybody? It's your boy, Riley Puddin' Peters. Coming with me, as always, defensive backs, quality control coach at Louisiana Tech University, Dr. Preston Rowe. And this is the Trash Talk Tailgate. And today, we're hitting the Shamar Super List. Shouts to our boy Shamar. Love you always, brother.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to hit a couple topics that are going to, be able to stay around for a while. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get going. Dr. Preston Rowe. Today, the first topic that we're taking on from the Shamar Super List is one of those age-old debates, one of those age-old discussions. The question that is always on the mind of people when you're thinking about, who's going to be successful at whatever level. It is hard work versus talent.
And he scores on the last play of the game. Touchdown! They talk about that ball becomes a nation forever.
Are you ready?
Riley Peters. You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Preston Rowe.
One of the best young coaches in college football.
It's the Trash Talk Tailgate.
Strong right slot, Z right. Spider 2 wide banana seal. You're going to call it like it's your favorite play you've ever gotten in your life.
I mean, hard work. You got that nitty gritty guy, the Rudies of the world, the ones that are, they're the first one in the locker room, the last one out, extra reps every day, the hard work embodiment. And then on the other side of that, you got the kid. He's the last one in, first one out. He's the one that, gets the pretty guy, the quarterback, the star wide, whatever it is. It's usually always a skill position. But it's just pure skill. Just pure skill. And that's what they rely on, but it gets them through. They're still scoring touchdowns every Friday night. But I guess, the other part of this is like who we think embodies those traits, and we'll take it to the NFL because that's truly the highest level where these things are playing out.
Yes.
So I guess, I'll throw it to you. Hard work versus talent, man. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, shout out to Shamar, because when he gave us the super list, this was one of the things I was like, it's not a great topic. But as we started deep diving into it, you kind of realize like, oh, wow, like there's a lot of discussion here. So, once again, shout out to Shamar, always having the great topics to deep dive into, to discuss.
Yeah, always a thought-provoking question from our man.
But when I first saw this and we started talking about this, immediately the first guy I thought of, and you're gonna 100% agree with me on this, is former Clemson Tiger and current Las Vegas Raider, Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow, receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, my fucking man, dude. The goddamn man with his 45-year-old balding head ass.
Dude, you know what? Balding heads, they're making a comeback, dude. LeBron at one point had a balding head.
Doesn't anymore. I think that's a go away.
Yeah.
I hope my man gets some fucking Bosley from in. That's all I'm saying.
But, dude, Hunter Renfrow, Riley, you know this better than I do. Dude was a former walk-on at Clemson.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought that, in those 2015, 2016 epic battles between Clemson and Alabama, a lot of people thought Deshaun Watson was the Alabama Crimson Tide killer. He was a part of it, but a bigger reason, in my opinion, was Hunter Renfrow, dude. They could not stop him. I'm trying to find stats real quick.
So, that national championship game, that last drive, I was pacing through my father's house like a fucking madman, okay? My dad's teasing me. He's be like, "Oh, they don't fucking got it, dude. Alabama's got him, dude. They got him." He was just talking shit the whole time, and I'm pacing the house like a fucking madman. And what I'm saying in my head and out loud the whole time is fucking give it to fucking Hunter Renfrow. God damn it, just give it to Hunter Renfrow. Don't fuck this up. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then it came to that play, and in that play, I'm really like, okay, here we go. What are we gonna do? Obviously, we're gonna scheme him open. How's it gonna happen? Dude, I still remember that fucking moment like it was goddamn yesterday. It made me so happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying.
no, you're good. Hunter Renfrow, I also, like, I think in like 10 years, Hunter Renfrow is going to get a movie.
Okay.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, he's got the story. Like you were saying, he's a walk-on. No one thought he was going to be anything. He's just a scrawny white kid. And he comes on and he busts his ass, catches the eye of Dabo Sweeney, a white wide receiver at heart himself. And I mean, they just, like, they fucking, they develop one of the most effective getting in space and dissecting defensive passing attacks that was around for a while. I mean, like, literally that team was so good at it. They diced up everyone. And Hunter Renfrow was a big part of that. So, all hard work.
Yeah. Dude, I'm trying to, I mean, in case anyone doesn't remember, so, you know, Hunter Renfrow, he torched Alabama in 2 games, in the 2015 game in which Clemson lost, and then the 2016 game the game in which he caught the game-winning touchdown on a pick play, but, you know, it's fine. And then they met again in the semifinal the next year in 2017 when Deshaun Watson had graduated and Kelly Bryant was the starter. And Nick Saban had so much respect for this man that Hunter Renfrow, slot receiver, he's just a small little slot receiver, didn't play out wide or anything, he's a slot receiver. Nick Saban said, fuck this. I am not getting beat by this asshole anymore. We are going to put our best DB on him in the slot. And that DB was Minkah Fitzpatrick. And Minkah basically shut him down. But that shows how much respect Nick Saban had for him. Wasn't?
Yeah, nah.
You know, and dude, that roster was loaded. I mean, they had Mike Williams, you know, they had Deion Kane at one point. Like, that was when Clemson was churning out NFL receivers. And just Nick Saban had the most respect for Hunter Renfrow. And, you know, dude, you want to talk about Hunter some more?
I can only glaze so much, dude. I can only glaze so much. I mean, I think those stats that you're looking for, he went over 90 yards in both games.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one was like 9 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. And then the other one was like maybe 12 catches for 105.
Yeah.
If I pull those out, are those the fucking, am I the best? If I remember that off the top of my head, am I everyone's hero?
Yeah, it's 7 catches for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the national championship game that they won. And you know, and then we were talking about this earlier, Riley, but on Derwin James was on the what's the name? Wait. 1 second. Oh, it's called the Pivot Podcast. So Ryan Clark's podcast with Fred Taylor and Crowder. They had Derwin James on, probably a couple months ago. And they just straight up asked me, who's the toughest receiver to guard in the league right now? Derwin James, the pro safety for the Los Angeles Chargers. Excuse me. And Derwin straight up said Hunter Renfro's up there. Like, and they all kind of clowned him. They're like, there's no way. There's no way Hunter Renfro is up there in terms of, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, whoever you want to put up there. There's no way the small little scrawny white kid is up there, who just plays in the slot. And Derwin was like, nah, like y'all continue to sleep on this man, but he's tough. He had to play him when he was at Florida State and Hunter was at Clemson. Now he has to play him twice a year because they're in the same division. So Derwin, I thought that was really cool that Derwin kind of gave him his flowers because
he fucking earned it.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's work, dude. He puts in the fucking work.
He does, and he's such a good route runner. He just gets open.
Yeah,
he knows how to get open.
His skill set that he uses is a skill set that is only developed through reps. He finds space. He runs great routes. He gets open. He just finds his way. Like, that is, you only get that after running fucking thousands and thousands of reps against so many different corners and defenses. Yeah. And and so my man puts in the effort and it gets results, man. It really does. He's an absolute Clemson legend and he's always in my heart. But there's another person that comes to mind that may be even better when you think of hard work. And that is the GOAT, Tom Brady.
True.
Because,
very true.
I mean, think about it. If it's hard work versus talent, right? I mean, obviously we find out Tom Brady's extraordinarily talented. But honestly, coming into the league, I mean, not regarded as highly talented. I mean, 6th-round draft pick. Sat on the bench for a while, but he put in the fucking work, man. Like, all his time in college, he was working. All that time he was on the bench, he was working. I mean, even throughout his whole career, you always saw him opening up his bag and, always expanding his arsenal. But,
yes,
he is someone that isn't necessarily the most talentedly gifted. I mean, one of my favorite things to watch is the Tom Brady run plays highlights. It's fucking 3 minutes long. And it's every run play in his entire career. So, he's one that I definitely think is also in that hard work category.
Yeah, I mean, just in case people don't know this, there's a great Tom Brady documentary called the Brady Six. Have you seen it, Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great documentary. And in it, they interview all these people, and when he was at Michigan, they had this, star dual sport athlete in Drew Henson, who they wanted Drew Henson to beat Tom Brady out. They kept on giving Drew every opportunity to, get in the game and basically take over the starting role for Brady, and Tom just would not let him. And then,
he just kept winning.
Exactly. And, he just kept on working hard. He beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl his senior year for Michigan. And then he gets drafted. Obviously the Patriots, they just signed their starting quarterback to a new contract extension in Drew Bledsoe. And by his second year, Bill Belichick is on record as saying, Tom basically should have been the starter. He outplayed Drew going into the preseason for Tom's second year. And, we just didn't pull the trigger because he was so young to make him the starter. And then Drew gets hurt against the New York Jets. The rest is NFL history because Tom worked so hard to be prepared for that moment, dude. And his game has constantly evolved. When he was first with New England, he was kind of like a game manager, which is dink and dunk, don't take any chances. You know, we've got a great coach defense. We've got a great defense.
Discipline.
We don't, yeah, you know, just be disciplined. Don't turn the ball over. And then, you know, and he didn't have great receivers either. You know, and Troy Brown was probably their best receiver at one point. And then the evolution happens, and he gets Randy Moss in 2007, and he just goes off. And the Patriots, they go 18-1. They eventually lose the Super Bowl to the New York Giants. But dude, he had Tom Brady threw 50 touchdowns. A lot of people didn't think he had that in him. Randy Moss had 23 of them, but you know, he's just constantly evolved. Then he gets Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, and they go out of 12 personnel, you know, and then Julian Edelman, you know, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, you know, he's just constantly evolved. And the reason he's able to do that is because of how much he watches film, how much he studies, and how hard he works, you know, and that's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, man. Absolute fucking legendary hard worker. So, you know, and now I guess you know, we can look at the other side of this too. For me, when I think of the talent thing, it always seems to be negative.
True.
Like when you think of talent guys, like I always think of way more negative, like Johnny Manziel, Jamarcus Russell, Josh Gordon. That's a good one. That's a good talent.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got so many chances. Got so many chances.
Because of his talent.
Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield, but I think he's starting to transition to being a hard worker, but he was you know.
I think he's always been a hard worker. I just don't know if he's necessarily the most talented. And he also he runs his mouth too much. That's my issue with him.
That's fair. He isn't. Yeah, he's not like Johnny, man. He's not. I guess that's fair. But yeah, like fucking talent guys.
You know, I think Jamarcus Russell is a great example of that because
take it down a level. Marcus Vick.
Really?
I mean, like, I don't mean that in like a negative way, but like.
Yeah.
He was very talented. Like everybody, like because of his brother and because of his talent, he got a lot of chances that most kids with his, because I mean, everyone knew he was trouble. Goddammit, they knew he was trouble from the beginning. He got chances he probably shouldn't have from the get go because of how talented he was. Like I just want to take it down a level. I mean, he never. I mean, you know, he was more of a college fizzle out than an NFL one, but he's the one that I think of when I think of a talent fizzle.
Yeah,
but then okay, let's talk about on the other end of that coin though, Michael Vick, because there's a guy that took talent and made it successful.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make any of the jokes. I'm actually gonna be serious about this one because he did he took talent and he made it successful. I mean, you said this earlier, like he was on record saying that he wasn't the, you know, the first in, last out guy. He was the opposite.
He was the last in, first out. He did what he had to do to get by, essentially.
Like he learned, but he relied on his pure talent, which was successful. Was very successful.
I mean, when he was in Atlanta, dude.
That shit was different.
He was different. I mean, he
was playing basketball.
He was the most athletic player in the league at the quarterback position. We had never seen that before.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the only way, once he got into the open field and he was, you know, down the sideline, the only way you were going to catch him is if you were the backside DB and had the angle on him.
Yeah.
And even then, you might not catch him.
No.
Like, he was different, dude, and he's one of the rare guys that could, you know, really get away with it. And you know, I mean, he made a Pro Bowl when he was in Atlanta. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. The issue became, you know, he led Atlanta to the playoffs as well. But the issue became like when you forced him to throw, you know, he wasn't as successful when you took away his ability to scramble and to make plays with his legs. And that kind of hurt him in terms of, you know, his work ethic.
That's where it shines.
Then on the flip side of that,
That's where it shines.
Yeah, and but then on the flip side of that, after he went to prison, for 18 months, and he got a shot with Philadelphia, he had learned his lesson. He basically wanted to make the most of it, so he worked his ass off. And he was also with Andy Reid, Deshaun Watson, Jeremy Maclin. That offense was loaded. But dude, he worked hard, and he was the comeback player of the year in 2010 for a reason in Philadelphia. If you would have taken that Michael Vick and put him in Atlanta with the work ethic and with, the knowledge that he had just in terms of life.
If you take his knowledge and throw it into that body, that Atlanta Vick body.
That's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And it's sad because, yes, Michael Vick is a success story, in terms of, how he's redeemed himself off the field. But he's also, to me, it's heartbreaking because he is one of the biggest what ifs in NFL history.
Yeah.
Because he was so talented.
Yeah. But he also, like you just said, he took it and he was able to, something clicked him and eventually, and he came back and he was a hard worker. And he changed and became still successful. But then, he became a great thrower. I'm not a great thrower, but a good thrower.
He was always a good thrower, but he became a really good thrower in Philadelphia.
Yeah. He became you could rely on his arm talent in Philly.
Yeah. Other guys that you kind of mentioned that had talent but weren't as successful, didn't have any success at all really in the league, fucking Jamarcus Russell, to me, is the first one that really comes to mind. He's been out of the league for a while. But dude, just the fact that there is a story on record that has been confirmed by multiple people saying that he was given a blank tape, and told to go home and watch it by Raiders personnel and Raiders coaches. And then he came back and said, oh, yeah, I love the game plan. It's great. And they couldn't believe it because they're like, bro, there's no way this man is actually saying what he's saying. It was a blank tape. It was a blank tape.
One of my favorite.
The fact that he couldn't even put the tape in just to watch 10 seconds of it. That's when I think the Raiders kind of knew, okay, we really fucked up. But, dude, how can you blame them, though, dude? Because he had the greatest pro day of all time.
Yeah.
Just once again, really shows how much stock you should put into the underwear Olympics. It's all about what does the film say? That's a lesson for another day. Yeah,
it is such a crazy thing that happens. But then then you have someone like Jalen Hurts, who is top talent, also incredibly hard worker. And I think of fucking Sunshine as well, man. Trevor Lawrence, very talented guy, incredibly hard worker.
Yeah,
and you're seeing them their success. It's obviously you need both, but I think hard work is the one that ends up being more sustainable if you think about it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Your point about Jalen, I do want to talk about Jalen a little bit. People will remember this if you're a college football fan. In the 2018 championship game, Alabama versus Georgia, Jalen Hurts was benched because he couldn't throw the ball consistently, and he was benched for Tua Tagovailoa. That just shows how stacked that Alabama team was. And then, he stayed that next year, and then he transferred the year after. He was Tua's backup for a year the next year. Then he transferred to Oklahoma. And the fact that he is now one of the highest paid players in the NFL, no one thought he could do that when he was drafted in the second round. A lot of people thought the Eagles were insane for drafting him that high when they already had a starter in Carson Wentz. We know how that turned out. But
it makes me wince every time.
He's worked his ass off. he's worked his ass off to get to where he is. And, him being benched in that championship game, it probably kind of, opened his eyes to, oh shit, like if I really want to be successful and if this is what I want to do for a living, I've just got to work even harder and just, continue to grind and continue to put the work in. And the other thing I love about Jalen Hurts, dude, the players in that locker room, they love him.
Yeah.
They love his leadership. They love the standard that he sets with his hard work and with his just, he's talented, yes, but really it's his hard work that really just sets the tone for that culture and for that locker room. And, I just wanted to bring that up. Another guy who's had success in the league, he's currently in the league, but the fact that they had to put a clause in his contract of you must watch at least X amount of film a week, like X amount of hours of film a week. That's eye-opening, and that's Kyler Murray. And a lot of people think that he might be on the chopping block. If the Cardinals have another bad year, they might go ahead and potentially get Caleb Williams or Drake May or someone like that in next year's NFL draft. I mean, but dude, Kyler, he's had success, but, he's kind of, every year he kind of fades out. Like the Cardinals, they'll start hot and then they'll kind of fade out.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of success late in the year, which is where, every team is going to have film on you at that point.
Yeah.
So you have to, you have to be able to mix things up. You have to be able to watch more film, be able to adjust. And I'm not sure if Kyler is really willing to do that right now. I think he'd rather fucking work on his KD ratio,
Yeah, dude. He's out there streaming, dude. He's trying to get his Twitch platform up. You know what? You know who's a guy who I think made talent work in the league for like a consistent time?
Who?
Andrew Luck.
Oh, I don't even want to go there. Just,
Nah, it's cool. I just wanted a reason to show his picture on screen. All right, man. Well, we've spent a good bit of time on this. So.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Just on Andrew Luck. Doesn't really matter how hard you work or how much talent you have. If you come into Indianapolis and basically proclaim that I am better than Peyton Manning, it's a really hard bar to meet. But he did that to himself. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And everybody wants him back. Anyways. No. All right. Let's take a pivot here, man. That was a fun one. That was a fun topic. There's honestly more we could talk about, but
100%.
I wanna pivot now to another item off of the Shamar Super List, and that is a way too early college football top 10.
Are we not doing this? Are we like doing separate or no?
Oh no, let's do it together. Yeah, no. Let's make one list. Let's do the TTT official stamped.
No, I mean, like, are we gonna cut it into 2 episodes?
Oh, we could. We could do also.
That's what I was thinking we could do. What?
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. Where we're at anyway.
Okay.
All right, fuck it. Yeah, I'll stop and get a new one.
Thought we were gonna like just have episodes in the bank. God dang it.
Good point. All right, hold on.
It's okay, dude. The CTE. I know.
Hold on. We got to recenter.
We do.
1 second.
Shit, we didn't fucking sign off. God dang it.
Recenter. And well, that was a banger, man. That was a good one. That topic is very interesting. Like, it's something that you can just talk about over and over again. You can go so deep and in so many different angles. But
100%.
It was a good one, dude. But I think it's time for us to mosey on back. I think the game's about to start, y'all. So like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel. The off season is churning, but we got to get out of here. Peace.
We're still here, dude.
We're still here.